Salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night, or really, I should say, of the week. Which one was the best soap opera this week? Now, B&B actually at some point started off kind of strong. Now I don't know what the hell happened at that point. GH has actually been pretty decent. Days has actually been pretty good, except for today. Well, the Ben and Sierra stuff I didn't really need. Other than that, it was actually pretty decent. Y&R has actually been pretty good. So I'm kind of torn, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Thank you for joining me, Blackmon. Thank you, Mel. Thank you for joining. What's good, Monique? Thank you for joining. Monique said, I would say B&B, then Days. Not sure about Y&R and GH. Yeah, for the most part, B&B has been pretty decent. I would sit there and say it did start to fizzle out in some areas, like with the same conversations and Bill and Deacon and stuff like that. Even though it's been funny, um, I don't know. It hasn't been bad, I would sit there and say. But it's in some I feel like in some ways it's kind of fizzled out a little bit. Also my views have been fizzling out a lot. So that has not been fun. But Future's been okay. Future's been okay. I've actually been enjoying Y&R. I just finished watching Monday's episode of Y&R. So that was fun. I don't know who that reporter is. Reminds me of the sleaze bag from GH. What was his name? Sloan? I think that was his name? Sloan? What the hell was his name? I got everything else with me except for my fork. So I'll be right back. Monique said what disappointed me about Days is the return of Harrison. Why bring Steve back to Days if he's just going to play another Jason? Monique, I remember you said that before too. And you do have a point in some ways. But you know what it is? There's a combination of Monique because I was talking to DC, and DC was like maybe that's the only way that Steve knows how to play. Like that's the only way he knows how to act. Stop and think about it. He's been playing Jason for years, and from what people told me, he played a character named Dylan on Y&R, and he was pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, he wore different colors. He didn't just wear all black, but more or less, he seemed like he was pretty much the same. So, um, I I think that's just how he acts. I think that's just his acting style. But I wouldn't be lying if I didn't. I wouldn't be lying if I didn't sit there and say it was a hint of the fact that maybe they are trying to capitalize on the fact that oh, he's not Jason on GH, but he plays a character that's like GH on Days. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people could sit there and look at what GH did was dirty to him. And what I forgot how that saying goes. One man's trash is another man's treasure. It's kind of really bad for me to say that about an actor, but yeah, and the dude has a loyal fan base. He has a loyal fan base. Try not to drink too heavily tonight. It's only been like 4 minutes, so I'm like, I need to kind of pace myself a little bit. But how's everyone doing tonight, though? How is everyone's week going? So, well, the end of the week is Friday, so how's everyone's week going? I'm glad you're doing good, Black Mon. Thank you. Um, I'm glad you're doing good. I can't wait to get out of work. I really can't. I actually left one of my bags at my job by accident. I just went to zip home as fast as I could from work. Um, I don't know, just one of those days, you know? It wasn't a terrible day. It was actually, well, something good happened um, at work, I will sit there and say, but I don't know. I just want to leave. Mel says, I love that Elena wants to get JT Harrison on the podcast. So, yeah, that seems like her plan. Now, and it's so weird, though, because you got Audrey that's there just whispering in her ear. And at first, Elena's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. And then afterwards, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea that we can get him on the talk show. Like, what happened to get out of my face? When did that come in from? Was good. Was good last day. Thank you. Was good last day. Thank you for joining. Was good, Shauna. Thank you for joining tonight. It maybe it's me because I don't know Elena. I don't know Elena. But at one point, she was like, "Get out of my ear. I see what you're doing." Next minute, she's like, "Yeah, I think it's a good idea if I get JT on there." I was like, it was kind of an odd switch. I understood why she did it. You know, I understood why she did it. I just, my whole thing is like, I don't even understand why you're sitting there fighting so hard for this man. I really don't. I really don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Monique says, I remember they had a Sloan on YNR. He was Olivia Winter's attorney, I believe, when she was fighting Malcolm over custody for Nate. Oh, okay. Wow. They had three Sloans. It's like at one point they had three Victors. Pretty interesting. You know what I can't believe now is that just how much of a kind of somewhat terrible mother Phyllis is. Her revenge for Diane is so strong that it overrides her love for her kids. And in this weird, sick, twisted way, she convinces herself that she's trying to get rid of Diane for her kids. This is how much of a delusional woman Phyllis is. I I know a lot of people like her character. I understand why. She's very messy. She is a soap character. She's somebody who gets in a drama and you love it. But I also understand why a lot of people just look at her like, "Whoa, what is your issue?" I'm not because Victor set that up. Jill could have been stopped. Jill could have been stopped. This, they're all snakes. Yeah. Darby was good. How you doing tonight, Darby? Monique says, "I'm glad Lena is starting to open her eyes to see what's going on between Victoria and Nate. Day is going good. Was going to the show to see John Wick 4. Oh, okay. Monique, actually, to tell you the truth, they got all three of the John Wick films on Peacock. But I do want to watch. I do want to watch that cat. I think it's called What's the name of that movie, Mel? It was something cat. It's not. It's like Cabin, something like that. It's not Cabin in the Woods, but it's on Peacock. I actually want to watch it. It has Dave Batista on there. But after that, I'm thinking about watching all those John Wick movies since they do actually have it on Peacock. What's the name of that movie, though, Mel? I'm glad you're able to join us, Darby. What's good, Renee Thompson? Thank you for joining. Okay, thank you, Mel. Knock at the Cabin. Yeah, I actually want to see that movie. I wasn't too sure about seeing that movie at first, but then I was like, you know what? That movie does actually look pretty good. So, what's good, Makai? Thank you for joining. Shauna says nobody knows Victor offered Joe money. Joy is in the chat. Joy said, "What is her end game? Are we supposed to believe that Phyllis is going to stay away? If this ridiculous plot works, when she comes back, her kids will hate her even more." Yeah, but Joy, that's exactly what I was Smith is saying. Her hate towards Diane is stronger than her love for her kids. You know, they're all a joint family at this point. And it's like, what are you, bro? What are you doing? Like, are you kidding me? It's so I don't know. But you know, I've heard stories. I don't want to sit there and spoil it for anyone, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it under wraps. Um, but I've heard stories about what they may do with Diane's character. I mean, what they may do with Phil's character when Diane is concerned. Greetings, Gwen. The lovely Gwen is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, knock at the cabin. Yes, I'm gonna sit there and try to see if I can watch that movie this weekend. Seeing how I couldn't see Shazam. Oh, that's not entirely true. I could have saw it. I just would have had to see it at a. It would have been it would have been an inconvenience for me to see it at that time. So I chose not to. I said Devon. Yeah, that's true. Now Shauna says Tracy says she sounds desperate. They don't care, especially Daniel. Well, I mean, when you have a mother that's sit there running around that's so obsessed with Diane that you can't even sit there and focus on the project that this dude hired you to do after Summer fired you. I mean, that's really on Phyllis's part. What's good, Tracy? Thank you for joining. I want to see it too. Well, I somewhat want to see it. Um, I'll probably see it at some point, but I'm not like running to the theater just to go and see it. What's good, AJ? Thank you for joining. I'm kind of pissed off at Warner Brothers at this point. But plus, honestly, tell you the truth, I see Shazam, I see the movie Shazam, and I know it's gonna go nowhere. Praise. How are you doing tonight, AJ? Thank you for joining us. Gemini's in the chat. What's good, Gemini? You know, actually, tell you the truth, I'm glad you're in the chat, AJ. What's good, Double C? Exactly, Monique. She can't, she can't see further than her hatred towards what you call it, towards Diane. Yeah, no, Angie, I'm glad you're in the chat. That's number one. I'm always happy to sit there and see you and know that your presence is in here. And number two, AJ, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this today twice. I don't know if you saw my yes, Double C. It looks really good. You know, they actually used the word killed a couple of times. Like, oh, she killed my mother. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, for Power Rangers to be actually using the word kill, it's, you know. But yes, AJ and everyone, well, no, well, it's somewhat good news. It's not really good news, but it was just like, I was impressed if you saw my review with Spencer today. Like, I actually enjoyed the scenes with Spencer. I know. I was shocked too. I actually sat down and I was like, huh. Actually, to tell you the truth, I like his scenes a lot more than I like Trina's scenes with Hat Daddy. So, but it was funny though too, AJ, because I was sitting there when I was doing my review and I was watching it, I was sitting there thinking about you. I was like, yeah, yeah. See, AJ, see, I'm not a total dick. I'm not. I will give credit where credit's due. I'm glad you did. Cherie's in the chat. What's good, Cherie? How are you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. I haven't seen anything yet. Just came home from work, settling in. Okay. I hope you had a good day at work. But AJ, like I said, I give credit where credit's due. When I like something, I will sit there and I will praise it. I'll give them their flowers. So yeah, double C. But he wasn't acting like the entitled version. He was just being very smart and diplomatic. Which I was like, I literally sat there. I was like, I actually got to give this dude compliments today. Okay. Monique said, "Did you see the look Nick and Sally had when Adam and Sharon showed up at the bar?" Yeah, they were not. It was definitely awkward as hell. But double C though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually looking forward to it. Double C. I'm actually been thinking about doing a review on the movie when it comes out. I think it's April 13th or something like that. So I'm genuinely looking forward to that. I still can't believe they actually. Of course, Sheree. Of course. Nice. You don't have to thank me, Sheree. I'm blessed that you're in the chat tonight, that you're spending time with us and stuff like that. So, I'm happy. I'm always happy to see you in the chat, just like with everyone else. So, thank you for being a part of the chat. No, AJ, the actor's leaving. So that's trust me, AJ, you don't have to worry about that. WC says, oh, 19th. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to miss it. I just want to sit there. Well, here's the thing, Double C. Netflix is going to sit there and let me know regardless. So, yeah. Oh, she really playing Esme. Yeah, Sheree, the dude did his thing. He did his thing. But he got other things. He got other things he got going on. So you know, and see, and I said this in my review. Oh, you don't have it. Oh, okay. That wow. That's double C. How you plan on saying that? You gonna watch it at his friend's house or something? Sheree said he is excellent. He's an excellent musician. Yeah, he's doing his thing. So I'm happy for him. But see, and again, that's what I talked about this in my review, and I was like, Joss was acting extra nasty to Cam, and I feel like if the actor wasn't leaving, she wouldn't have been that nasty to him. She really wouldn't. Shauna said Bill's doing too much, but you know what, Shauna? Again, I was enjoying the banter between him and Bill. I mean, Bill and Ridge. Bill calling Bill joking on Ridge's hairstyle, talking about what do you call him, like looking like a samurai or something like that. I loved it. I loved it. It was good, Solomon. Thank you for joining tonight. Arifa is in the chat. Best show this week was YNR. Love Phyllis Meltdown. I did actually like it. And how you been, Aretha? It's really good to see you in the chat again. Overseas, hopefully someone will stream it online. Samurai, yeah. Yes. Yes, I loved it. I loved it. That would be an interesting trick, an interesting twist, Monique. Gemini, Gemini says, yeah, yes. Where'd you hear that from, Gemini? Last last day says Sheila asked Bill today if he was playing her what is going to tell what is going to tell Deacon what Brooke giving relationship advice should be good to see, since she's terrible at keeping relationships together. Last day, Brooke's dad is getting on my damn nerves. When is that dude leaving? When is he leaving town? Okay, cool, Rita. Yeah, I honestly tell you, the truth, I was just there saying, it was like I was actually liking the Spencer stuff today. Shauna said, Abba, you said Cam can let his anger go when he gets ready, but Curtis and Trina need to let their theirs go towards push. I agree. I agree to some extent. Well, here's the thing with Trina, yes. With Curtis, Curtis needs to pick a lane. That's what it comes down to. Curtis needs to pick a lane. He needs to either sit there and just divorce her or try to work on the marriage. Gemini says, wait, Sheila's leaving. No, she's not leaving the show, Gemini. She's on contract. She's on contract. She's not leaving. Hmm. What's good, Lauren? Thank you for joining. What's good, Freddie? Thank you for joining. Darby says, I found it stupid that days there were no guards. Yeah, exactly, Darby. Not only that, Megan Smith, they're trying to give Bo the needle. Wouldn't you just have henchmen for that instead of trying to do it yourself? Megan is like what 130, and she just thinks that, oh, if I just talk him into this, if I just talk him into just taking his little brain on a tune up or whatever, he'll listen to me. Yeah, you're right. It made no sense whatsoever, Darby. What's good, Ariana? Thank you for joining tonight. I hope you had a great day and a great I know you're back now, right? Always good to see you in the chat. Gemini says Curtis realized that Jordan wasn't that bad. I'm like, yo, listen. Um, Jordan don't need to be snipped and messing around with him. Double C said Jordan need a new man, maybe fan. Yeah, Double C, maybe anyone other than Curtis. But I feel like they're just gonna stick her with Curtis because why not at this point? Uh, it'll be kind of weird, AJ. The power dynamic, he's her boss. It just would seem kind of weird. Ariana says yes, back on the home front. Okay. Lauren says I am LGBT friendly, but I don't think that will work for JT's character. Speaking, I was going to sit there and say, so for the 50th anniversary, um, why did I have Tess Mariah there? Oh, we got another Cherie in the chat. Cherie J. Let's see him handle Marshall. What's good, Cherie J? Thank you for joining. I don't know. Like I said, I actually enjoy Spencer's what you call it scenes. Well, I mean, Cherie J didn't do anything so far that can to be considered. He didn't do anything, or she didn't do anything so far to be considered your voice. What's good, Becky D? Thank you for joining. Lauren says it was a very interesting question that you okay. Well, Cherie J, you said something about Trina that you didn't like Trina. So I want to ask you, Cherie J, what is it that you don't like about Trina? That's what I want to know. And Rihanna said Curtis doesn't need to pick a lane. and then fess up about his involvement. Yeah. Oh, he does need to pick up. Yeah. Gemini says they gave Tess Mariah a wedding for a few days to seem inclusive. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not there though. They're not in the chat. I mean, they're not in the 50th anniversary, which sucks. I just honestly tell you, AJ, I just want to know why he doesn't, or why she doesn't like. What's good, Becky D? Thank you for joining tonight. I just want to know why Cherie J doesn't like Trina. If it's a valid reason, then that's fine. We can all like and dislike characters. It's not the end of the world. I just want to know why. Lone says Colin's heart is sitting inside alligators victim. Hmm. Well, like I said, AJ, is Crystal. Is it Crystal or Hopkins? Why don't they have a disability story? It's a good question. I don't really think it's that serious. Um, Crystal, is that actually how you pronounce your name, Crystal? I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm sorry. And this still seems kind of dry. Yep, got to do the hot sauce. I actually remembered it today. Cherie J says I don't like Trina because the powers that be have written her as this angel who can do no wrong, put her on this pedestal, expecting. I don't. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, but okay, fine. It's as long as it's not a color thing, then all right, that's fine, I guess. Becky D said I missed a lot this week. Well, honestly, to tell you the truth, Becky D, it's good that you're in the chat now. So I know that honestly, to tell you the truth, I know you got a life outside of this, so I always appreciate whenever you're able to show up. Um, Shauna says I'm sick of Audra. Audra's a snake, but here's the thing, though. She's a very soapy snake, if that makes any sense. Spiderquake is in the chat. What's good, Spiderquake? Freddy says Dex is supposed to discover something gruesome. The death bodies spoilers. Hmm. What's good, Spiderquake? How have you been? This was not exactly the best hot sauce, or at least the best bottle for this. Actually, pretty annoying. Spiderquake said you worked on Saturday and good. You? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Yep. 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 in the morning. Oh, fine. Monique says Victoria was once married to Tony. Oh yes, I remember. Yes, I forgot the guy's. Yeah, I forgot the guy's name in real life. But yes, try a taboo if you can't take it. It's too spicy. Hmm. I might do that. it's funny when I went there when I went to the supermarket, I just kind of just picked out something and it was just like, all right, cool. I mean, I didn't want to pick out something that was going to be like burning my tongue too spicy. How you doing tonight, Apple? Thank you for joining us. That'll be interesting, Freddie. I don't see that happen. I feel like it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Siri says I got to shift tomorrow to darkest. There is not that early, but we can do this. Of course, well, here's the thing, sure. I'm going to be in here. I'm going to sit there and do a live stream. Um, I pretty much do the live streams every day. So that's not going to stop me from doing a live stream. It's just as far as how long I may be on here, is it, you know, I'm always going to be here now. I love what I do way too much, and I love sitting there talking to everyone here. Because I always, what it is, I always feel like every time whenever I go to work and I do this, it's like I'm hanging out with friends. So, all right, let's see if this still has a kick to it. Becky says maybe Nate does have a little sense after all. Freddie says I heard the new Sammy didn't do all that great at the box office. Freddie, I wouldn't be too surprised. Because here's the thing. I was supposed to go in the morning, and they didn't actually have an opening in the morning. So, like, it used to be at 11 o'clock, and then they dropped it down to, like, 1:30, and at that point, it was just like, I knew it wasn't doing good because they started to limit the amount of times that it was showing. Cherie said it must give you a burst of energy. What, you mean, this, or just in general? What's giving me a burst of energy, Cherie? Thank you, Black Mom. Same. I just, like I said, I love doing this because I love hanging out with friends. I love doing this because I love hanging out with friends, Black Mom. Now, Chris has said, what is about color. I'm sorry, but it is. That's just my opinion. What's okay, Crystal? If that's how you pronounce it, what's about color? I don't understand what's about color. Apple said this is nice. This is a nice, safe place, and I love it. Thank you, Apple. I try. I do try. I do try to keep it. I do try to keep it a safe place. And my husband. I don't even like. Um, I don't like sitting there blocking people if it's not necessary. You know, if people have a disagreement about a character, that's fine. As long as it's not about color, race, or anything like that, you're free to like and dislike whatever characters you want to like. As long as we can be civil about it, I don't see it as a problem. You know. Freddie says poor Charles will say goodbye to Epiphany. Oh, March 29th. Okay, thank you. But I do try to keep it as much as a safe place as I can. Monique says, I think Nate grabs it towards Victoria because she feeds his ego. Yes, I do agree with that, Monique. I do. Monique, remember Nate and Amani? And Amani was doing the same thing. Amani was sitting there talking about how Nate is this and how Nate is that. And now Victoria is doing the same thing. Oh my God. I just thought about that. Blake Cat is in the chat. What's good? How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining us, Blake Cat. Dave is in the chat. I'll be in and out of stream tonight. Well, I'm glad to have you in here, Dave. Come and jump in and jump out whenever you like. I like having you in here. So now Monique says, what kind of hot sauce you got? Got it red hot or I don't even know what this is. It's this, whatever this is. It's okay. It has a bit of a kick to it, but it's not. Um, it's not too high. It's not too spicy. I just don't like I don't like the fact it's not a squeeze bottle. That's the only thing that's really annoying me. Gemini says Nate is like his dad. Who's it? Okay? I don't know who his dad is, but Crystal says people dislike Katrina. Oh no, I get that. I get. Here's the thing. I get some people don't like her because of her skin color, and that's pretty messed up. But I'm talking about specifically in here. If somebody doesn't like her because of her skin color, um, I mean, obviously they're gonna sit there and get the boot. But if they don't like her because of her personality or something like that, I'm okay with that. Thank you, Darby. Thank you. Darby just gifted a membership. Membership for one Thomas and Hope Forever. Wait, did you just become a member or did you just or you just became a member and then you just gifted one? Nice. So Valerie is going to become a member of the super supporters. Nice. We have 31 so far. This is awesome. Thank you, Darby. Thank you for renewing your membership and also gifting the membership. You're amazing. Thank you so much. How you doing tonight, Shakira? Thank you. Shakira says best is Days and YNR. Actually, I did like YNR a lot. Surprisingly. I even like May May coming back. It was very emotional. And I didn't even really know. Um like I didn't watch it that long, so like I didn't really know her character, but just seeing her and Jack just talking was just wow. It was nice. Yeah, Valerie. Darby is amazing. Darby is a rock star. Marsha's in the chat. Was good, Marsha? Hey, Rihanna says Fate FB is really ugly about Trina when she got with Spencer. Not ugly about Spencer being with her. I let this side go. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. No one wants to sit there and be around. Have a good night, CW. Thank you for joining us. I'll actually say hi to you, CW. If I didn't say hi to you, my bad. You know, Monique, that was a show I was always very. I couldn't really. I didn't really understand that too much. That cartoon. Now Gemini says May raise all the Abby kids. Yeah, it was a very emotional scene. I liked it though. But no, I get it. I get it. Ariana, people can just be nasty and cruel for no reason. So I'm not okay with that. Crystal says no. Krista says YNR tried this week, but I found the hype overly lacking. Shauna says, Mama don't like Joey. Oh, yeah, I saw that. You know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, Shauna, I was like, you know what? At least with May May, she kept that same energy. I can respect that. She kept that same energy. What did Hope and Liam hate haters in that comment section? Krista says maybe next week will be more. Double C said Trina too had an attitude, but that Trina's so sweet. Yeah, you know, to tell you the truth, here's the thing, Double C. That's the one thing we will sit there and say I wasn't a fan of in the first Trina. She didn't smile. She came across as very cold and unapproachable. This Trina is a lot better. She smiles. She's more upbeat. I mean, it has been like this week, but she she smiles more. You know. So I like this Trina. I like this. I like this version a little bit more. Marsha said, Albert, this Trina is the third. That is very true. That is very true, Marsha. And you know, it's really funny, Marsha. I feel like a lot of people don't remember the first Trina. Ethel said they're writing this Trina much better. DR. Yeah, Valerie. I mean, I'm looking. Yeah, Valerie. I just. And you know the thing that's really a crime, Valerie, is that the second Trina was actually really pretty. Cindy Michaela, she was actually really pretty. And I get some of the scenes that they had with her. There was like a lot of scenes she used to always sit there and do this. Her arms was always folded like this. I'm like, bro, like seriously? Like in a lot of ways, I was kind of glad that they actually had new Trina, you know, and good for Cindy for going to school and stuff like that, you know. Shauna says I'm so over Daniel. Sheree says I remember the first Trina. I liked her. You know, the thing about the first Trina that a lot of people don't know, well, a lot of people may not remember, some people may not remember, is that the first Trina, um, she was supposed to be somewhat of a bad influence on Jocelyn. Somewhat of a bad influence on Jocelyn. And I don't know what happened, but it was almost like the writers was like, nope, we can't do that. We got to sit there and totally rewrite it again. You know, Mel, a lot of people would actually agree with you. Marsha said, I don't recall the first trainer. Someone mentioned it on Brock's channel. All the trainers were pretty, but the second trainer had a different attitude. Lauren says, I like Trina. I feel like Trina is about to be stuck raising Stefan, and the show could do more with the character than that. Stefan? Who's Stefan? Yes, that's very true, Double C. I think she was half Asian and half black, right? Ariana says, I can't see the first Trina with Spencer. They don't have any spark. The second Trina is better. An actor like her and Spencer are the real. They're getting better together. Yeah, I will sit there and say that, he is more tolerable. Cherie says, are you talking about the Asian Trina when you're saying the character who was to be the bad influence of her, and I thought, yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Cherie. Freddie says, shout out to the people that dressed Trina and sets up at the nurse's ball. Oh, I didn't even see a sneak peek. Cherie says the first Trina had a really bad kiss. Yes, God, yes, Cherie. Yeah, Cherie, it was bad. It looked like she was okay. That kiss was so awkward. It looked like she was sitting there. I don't even want to sit there and say it looked like what she was doing, but it was awkward as hell. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so in all reality, yeah, I guess we can actually call her the third Trina. The third Trina is the best Trina. Um, I didn't really care for her scenes today with Hat Daddy, and I'm just going to call him Hat Daddy at this point. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. I didn't really care about the scenes with him and Hat Daddy. You know what? I didn't actually even do a poll today. I didn't even actually do a poll today. True says, yeah, she's the third Trina. Yep. I didn't even do a poll today. So I'll just do a simple one. Seeing how for some odd reason they're limiting my answers to yes and no's. What's General Hospital good to that? That's the question that I want to sit there and ask people. Shauna says, "Where is Kate?" Well, we know she's not dead, so there's that. Marsha says, "May May is about that age. She saved Jackie's family back in the day. She had invested some money and bailed them out of a jam." Wow. Yeah, Blake Kate, the third Trina. Oh, you, oh, my bad. My bad, Sheree. Becky D says, "Why don't people want Hope and Thomas together?" Oh, Tamara's in the chat. What's good, Tamara? What's good, Tamara? Welcome back. Sheree says, "I figured Kate wasn't dead, so both shot into the air or something." Yeah, you're not gonna sit there. Oh, Sheree's okay. Sheree, you voted yes. Krista says, "I hope Marshall becomes Spencer's mentor." Is that mentor? Is that what you're trying to say? Mentor? Yeah, Tamara, it's been a minute. It's good to see you again. Valerie says, "Also agree with your comment about Josh and your review today." Yeah, Valerie, it seemed. I mean, here's the thing. I know Josh could sit there and be over the top and everything, but that was that was a little bit too much, even for her. That was over the top, even for her. You know why? Why would you want Marsha to be Spencer's mentor? I'm very curious about that. Monique says Victor's by his disability, he's not stupid. He knew to bring an expert to check the ice. Well, Monique, it's not exactly a disability. It's a disability in the bedroom. That's what kind of disability he has. He doesn't have a disability. He has a disability as far as the bedroom is concerned. I'm trying to keep this PG-13. Yeah, Valley, it seemed over the top. It really did. But I should tell you, Valley, I'm actually glad that you're going to be part of the super supporters because we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. Laura says, "Are you serious that poor man got misdiagnosed?" Oh, Marsha, yeah. Cherie said, "Was why not good? I want the drama of the gala and the big." Cherie, it was. I gotta sit there. It was pretty decent. It was pretty decent, Cherie. The thing is, Cherie, when I look at Y&R, I feel like sometimes I have to have different standards for that show. You know, in this weird way, I feel like I have to have different standards for that show. Dave said, "I don't understand what is so called Ice Princess and where did it come from?" Dave, I'm not too clear on that myself because I only started watching it in 2001. Well, yeah, I mean, Ariana is, it's a man issue, you know. What is called it's yeah, his problem, his man issue. Which I'm not gonna lie, Ariana, even though that Victor is a terrible person, when I heard about that, I was like, oof, even I felt that. Apple says, "I believe that Esme has her memory." A lot of people actually said that. I remember Nikisha even said that too. I don't see it, but Gemini says, "I want JT Auto show up at the gallery." Cherie says, "I grew up on ABC soaps. Shows back on the day, but Now I watch all of them because there's only four. Exactly, Sheree. That's the thing. You got to sit there and support them. You got to sit there and support them. There's only four left. We used to have what, maybe 10 or 14. Shakira says do a poll on GH about Esme. She got her memories back. That was my. All right. Thank you, Shakira. Enough. Let's see where. I'm gonna leave it up for 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna put up the next poll. Blake said they've been talking about the Ice Princess for over 30, 40 years. That's very true. Which one do you want to be called, Blake or Cat? Because I feel like I'm going to just screw up your name somehow. So which one would you like to be called? Because I'm not calling you the 13th. So it's either Blake or Cat, if you don't mind. Lauren says, oh, Victor can get it. Yep. Hence why is that, Lauren? His issue, his man problem. Oof. Well, oh, Black Cat. Okay, all right, cool. Black Cat. Good, 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 good. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. We got 29 votes. Let's see if we get some more votes to see if GH was actually good. So far we got 72 that says yes. Only 28 says no. We got 38 people in the chat. Also, we got 21 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help. It really does help. It really does help. Like we get new people in all the time, and I think that has a lot to do with. Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that it's being recommended. Onyx says have a poll for Yarborough, or will Ethan catch Nate and Victoria in the act? Yes or no? Ooh, that's a good one, Monique. I'm glad you enjoyed it, AJ. I mean, Spencer was Black Cat said you superstitious on my other device. I missed it. Oh, okay. Okay. Marsha says yes. Hit the like button. It really does help. It actually really does help. We actually got 22 likes so far, so I am actually very superstitious. I mean some things like I don't like splitting polls. I like splitting polls. 13. So even when I do my reviews, if I ended off on 13, I will just sit there and talk about whatever and try to get to 14. I mean no no. I mean Black Cat, you can keep it. You can keep it. I'm just saying like I'm a superstitious person. No no no. Keep it. Marsha said very superstitious, my song back in the day. Yeah, I am superstitious. I keep it up for. Oh, we got 40 people in the chat. All right. Big Samuel's in the chat. What's good, Samuel? It's been a minute. How have you been? every time I do these live streams, I'm just always thinking like, where's Samuel at? It's been a minute. That's right. Let's everyone say what's up to Samuel. Got Samuel back in the chat. Oh, I am. Yeah, I just want to end the other one. Yeah, I mean, Cherie J. I mean, everyone has their fans and stuff like that. Characters that they like. Samuel said today was a day at work. I needed this little break from it. Well, it's good to have you in the chat, Samuel. You've been missed. Samuel said work trauma is real. Yeah, trust me. I mean, granted, Samuel, I'm not gonna sit there and take anything away from you. Like your job is probably a lot harder than mine. Oh, miss. Okay, you changed it back. Your job is a lot harder than mine, but I get it to some extent. Just want to make sure I actually have the name Esme right. Okay, it is. Why does it keep saying that my Becky? You say you're always welcome to come and to progress. Yes. Yes, it's always good to sit there and have you in the chat, Samuel. Um, yeah. Do you think that Esme's memories is back? Yes or no? Samuel says I haven't really been interested in Jace this week. I'm still on the beginning of Tuesday's episode. Okay. Hmm. Was it really good this week? Everyone in the chat, let me know. Esmeralda Prince. Okay, you're right. You're right, Sheree. You're right. You been watching any of the soaps though, Samuel? Besides GH, like Days or YNR or B&B. Okay, well we can scratch off B&B because I'm pretty sure you haven't been watching that. But as soon as I said B&B, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Samuel's not watching B&B. Lauren says I don't think that nutcase ever lost. What do you think of What do you think of Samuel? What do you think of YNR and Days this week? Yeah, sure. She actually was on today. She was about to sit there and just leave town with Ace. Uh, Monique says, as a child, my teacher wanted to test me for autism because I can't remember what I read from a book word, but couldn't tell you what it was about. My dad said I had comprehension problems. Gloria is in the chat. Gloria says yes and no. Yes and no. Why is it yes and no, Gloria? Ethel says Esme was getting ready to skip town at the end. Yep. Shakira says yes, my friend Sherry R. Mr. Bear says, what's the age demographic of your audience? I started watching daytime soaps in the 80s. I feel like it varies. I feel like it varies, honestly. I actually have to sit down and look at that. That's a good question, Mr. Bear. Marsha says, well, 30 years ago, I was watching Guiding Light, Another World, and as the world turns. So the last day says Esme has the memories back. Now Sammy says, why not a new opening? Is it just you're not so Sammy, you're not a fan of the opening. Somebody else in the chat said that too. Somebody else in the chat said the exact same thing. I actually like the opening. But I get it, it's not for everyone. Marsha said I started watching in the 60s as 12. Wow. I no Gloria says because one moment she do and one moment she does. Cameron would be lucky if Esme doesn't knock him out with a mini statue. That's true. Esme, you just don't know at this point with her. Mr. Best is my favorite. Were all my children. One Life to Live. Mr. Bear, I actually started off watching One Life to Live. I started off watching One Life to Live. That was my first soap opera. Now, Ariana says our demographic and connection with age and even race is diverse and fun. That is very true. That is very true. But it's funny because like I always sat there and thought about that a little bit because I don't curse in my reviews, Ariana. And that's usually because I know sometimes I do have an older demographic in my audience. So I don't really curse a lot, you know. But that's very true, Ariana. And Sammy says I love YNR and it just makes me so sad to watch these write and produce make it look like I should be watching the back of a series. I never actually thought of it that way, Samuel. See, Samuel, we missed you. Well, I missed your humor, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people missed your humor as well. Marsha, Marsha says, I thought Cameron is going to college. He is. That's funny, Marsha. I feel like he's probably doing both. Like, his character is going to college, but also, I'm pretty sure he's doing something as well. Monique says, I recently watched the podcast with Bob Flynn on Steve and Brad, and he said there is a connection between the two characters. Bobby Flynn. Who's Bobby Flynn? Who's Bobby Flynn? I'm very curious about that. Ariana says, no, you don't curse, just drop that. Yeah. It is. Ariana, I mean, granted, I don't speak for anyone else, but for me personally, I'm just like, I don't feel like I need to curse to get my point across. I know some people do, and that's them, but for me, And also, you know what it is? You know what it is, Ariana? I feel like if somebody else is watching my review or watching my videos, it's just kind of weird for them to sit there and watch me just drop the F bomb over and over and over again. And I did that one time. I was watching a video with my friends. In this video, I was literally swearing like a sailor. And it was so embarrassing to sit there and listen to that I was just like, yeah, I can't. It's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So that's why I don't really do a lot of cursing anymore. Ron, oh, what's good, Ron? Ron says, I'm so glad that Asmi doesn't trust. Ron is coming in with that energy. Krista says, my favorite song was The Secret Storm. The Secret Storm? I don't remember that. Krista, I'm actually have to look that up. Marsha said, Abby, you do you and really do not need to cursing. I like your style, do not change. Oh, Marsha, I don't plan on it. I don't plan on it. But I mean that was initially well, that was another reason why I stopped cursing in my reviews because going back and like we're actually watching my video and I just boom, 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 boom. I want to shut it off before we even continued it. I don't even okay, I actually do remember the video it was, but yeah. Ariana said it would be great if at his going away party, Cameron got wasted and told the world. Mr. Bear says people who curse a lot have a limited vocabulary, I was taught. Yeah, it just, it doesn't. Well, that's another thing, Mr. Bear. That's the third reason. I don't want my video getting demonetized. So there's that as well. Cameron said having fun listening, didn't watch any story. I was just catching up with that Data Flash more after taxes. I needed it. I don't blame you, Tamara. You know, I actually did my review on Days of Our Lives. I haven't did the Days of Our Lives review in a hot minute. It was good. Crystal says, way earlier you were born. You were born earlier, 60s. Okay, Crystal. I'm gonna still have to look that up, though. Shakira says, star and call on wanting to live. Apple says, I hear you, Crystal. Crystal. Is it Crystal or is it Crystal? Because I don't like butchering people's names, and I feel like I've been butchering this person's name for a hot minute. Apple. So do you pronounce it Crystal or the Crystal? And Rihanna says, no need to swear, your eyes roll, laugh, and talking to characters when. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you. Yeah, I just, I feel like it's not needed for me. I know other people do it, but, Marcia said I was born in 1954 and they had the soaps on a radio. Wow. It's funny, Marcia, because they got people like James and Candace Mack that do audio dramas. So I find that funny when when you talk about the radio and stuff like that, like they do audio dramas. Crystal Ball, okay, okay, so that is Crystal. I am so sorry that I mispronounced your name throughout the entire chat. I really am. We didn't get activities. Wow, what does it keep doing that for? Sammy says, I like the 50th anniversary stuff on Why Not, but I wish it was more intertwined and storylines and bringing back characters from back in the day, actually driving stories. Wow. Yeah, no, it's funny, Marsha, because when you're sitting there talking about like radio and stuff like that, I was sitting there thinking about James because he's always talking about his audio dramas. Well, thank you, Crystal. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. One thing that you'll notice, Crystal, if you're when you become a regular in the chat, is I'm really bad with names, like terrible with names. Everyone in this chat knows I'm terrible with names. So thank you, Crystal. Marsha said, "Knots Landing. Love is a mini splendid thing in Dallas." Well, I mean, I heard of Dallas. I heard of Dallas, and I heard of Knots Landing. They used to actually have that on SoapNet. Lauren says, I started watching days when I was 12, 2005, and Chloe walking around town looking like the Phantom of the Opera. Cherie says some of the audio dramas feature Oh, okay, Siri. Okay, yeah, Siri. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Hey, yeah, yeah. James is my guy. James is my guy. But I think you probably saw the live stream with all four of us, though, right? Sure, Sheree. Cameron says I agree with some viewers and that I also did not ship Trina and Spencer. I don't have a specific reason. Maybe I just don't care for Spencer. Cameron says the fact that Sheila is on B&B and not on YNR for the 50th anniversary has me so effing annoyed. Yeah, I remember that, Marsha. That was in black and white. She says, "No, I haven't listened to any, but I know about them and I love promoting all of you." Well, thank you, Sheree. Thank you. Yeah, no, yeah, James is my guy. So honestly, tell you the truth, it was really fun having him on my channel because I was on his channel with DC. So it was just a great video. Mel says, Albert, I love that it did not take long to know my name, Melanie. Yes. Well, also, Melanie, I went to YouTube and I typed in your name and then it just came up. So it just made it really easy to say. I do call you Mel sometimes, but yes. And I was to tell you, Melanie was another person that had a tough time um, pronouncing her name. Yeah, Mr. Bear, that's Patrick Duffy. I just remember him from that show Step by Step. Siri says when I'm in other chats, I talk about how much I like you. Thank you, Sheree. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I love doing this, and I'm blessed to have you in the chat. So thank you. Marsha said, "Love me some Dark Shadows," and a weird kind of way. Simon says, "I'm proud of Days for getting renewed for 2 years in Peacock. Got the soaps need to take." I agree with that, Samuel. I agree with that. 100%. Does anyone remember this show? Um, I think it was called Tales from the Dark Side. Um, I just remember that music being the most creepiest music I've ever heard in my entire life. Let me know in the chat if anyone remembers this show called Tales of the Dark Side. Sheree said, "Oh yeah, yep, step by step." But Suzanne Summers, Ethel says, "Yes, I remember that." Oh God, yeah, that was. I think that might actually be the most creepiest music I think I've ever listened to in my entire life. Like it still gives me like it still kind of creeps me out. Yes, Becky. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. That music still creeps me out. Like to this day, that music creeps me out. Jesus Christ. Oh, Darby. Yes, yes, Darby. That is some creepy ass music. Ariana said Tales from the Crypt. There was a Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah. Well, yeah, Ariana, Tales from the Crypt was just it was just very cringy jokes, but Tales from the Dark Side was creepy as creepy. Mel says I watched Tales from the Dark Side. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Mel. That was some creepy music. Becky D says sometimes we carry these things around for life. Yes. Well, I mean, like I said, I give him props. I give him props. That was some creepy ass music. Much as that I recall Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, I recall that show too, Marsha. It was an interesting show. Once you got past like the extremely corny, cringe-worthy jokes, then it was something. I mean, they did a bunch of movies. Becky D says Tales from the Crypt was silly, funny. I did like the crazy like. Yeah, exactly, Becky D. It was more like harmless than anything else. Like I couldn't get creeped up by that. Now, Samuel said, I don't think I've ever seen Tales from the Dark Side. Samuel, if you type up Tales from the Dark Side, just the music, like the intro, is exactly Black. I was like, yo, that's some creepy ass music. Even to this day, it still creeps me out. So I give the composer so much credit for that. Mel says I watched all Creep Show. Oh, I used to love that. I used to love that, Mel. Creep Show, I used to love that. Black Mel says yes, it was scary and gave me yeah, it did me too. Jesus Christ, it gave me some nightmares. Like even Freddy Krueger didn't give me nightmares. Freddy, you know what it is? Because Freddy Krueger was just so funny. He was so funny and just so funny that I loved it as a kid. Jerry says I like scary stuff, silly spoof horror, B movies, all that is really on the way. Yeah. Well, I grew up watching horror movies, so it wasn't really a lot that actually really scared me. Like even the Jason movies didn't scare me. Tyler says he's a writer for Billy Zane. Hmm. Yeah, Ariana. It was. I used to love those. I used to love those shows. Darby says, Albert, have you ever heard of a show called The Hitchhiker? No, no, actually, I haven't. Freddie, it's funny. I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one, but I want to see the third one because they actually do bring it back. So it's on my bucket list of movies to watch. Is that? Thank you for reminding me, Freddie. It's on my bucket list of movies to watch. Siri said Freddie was a jabber, but this backstory is gross. Bella says I watched it. Here's the thing about Tales from the Hood. But they actually made a third one. I only saw the first one. I know they made a second one, but I didn't know they actually made a third one. Wow. Damon says, I love how Amanda was. Oh yes. Yes, Sammy. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Devon, Amanda Amanda owned that whole scene. Even even with Abby. I didn't understand why Abby was sitting there trying to be like, oh, I just want to apologize. I'm like, boo, are you pretty much just open up all those wounds. Right? He said, I've seen all of them. Yes, that's on my bucket list. Ariana said the Hitcher was off the chain. Sheree says someone had a Michael Myers as a samurai sweatshirt with liking cherry blossoms and swords on it. Marcia said to check out the music album Tales from Dark Side. I just checked it out. You didn't like Marcia, you didn't like it was creepy, or you didn't like it like it was stupid. I'm very curious about your take on that. Darby says, oh, how about oh no, Darby, I remember watching that. I remember watching that show. I did remember watching that. Yeah, sure. I didn't know it actually was a third one. I knew it was a second one because I remember seeing it on Netflix. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but when he says Mr. Green, I have been watching Gunsmoke. Yeah, Marshall. No, I want to know. I want to know what your thoughts on that creepy ass music, though. It's funny too because it's like part of me wants to sit there and listen to it, but the other part of me wants to sit there and go to sleep tonight, so I'm not going to listen to it. So I'm very very curious about your answer, Marsha. China says Jack's too much. I put up with him, but when he blackmailed Michael and recorded Carly on the phone, she was ruining Sonny's. Have a good night, Apple. Thank you for joining. It actually was the best Crystal. Actually was. I did love it. I mean, yeah, and it's funny too, Crystal, because they always, they played every New Year's. They always play it, I think, on picks. So have a good night, Gwen. Thank you for joining. Marsha, I'm still waiting for that answer. What you thought of that music? You say you didn't like it, but like, did you not like it because it was creepy, or did you not like it because it was just like dumb? Very, very curious about that. Samuel says, not a horror fan. Y'all losing me. Not a horror fan, Samuel. What do you like? Comedy, action, sci-fi? I'm not super big on comedy. Dark comedy, maybe, but not really comedy. I love sci-fi and I love horror and action. Marsha said it was creepy, and if I listened to it much longer, okay, good. Well, I mean, not good, but like, um, well, now you know what we're talking about. Marsha said movies that still creep me out is it. Samuel says comedy, but I'm selective about it. Okay. Movies actually creep me out. And I've said this before on one of my other live streams. Any movie that has to deal with like exorcism, like The Exorcist or whatever, I ain't watching it. I'm not doing it. I'm not watching it. It's just nope, 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 no, 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 no. I mean, I gotta really want to just torture myself if I want to watch the Exorcist movie. But yo, you don't do horror movies. DC. Everyone, DC's in the chat. DC says I was shocked to see Amanda back this week. It was a nice, genuine surprise. Yeah, especially since you didn't check out any spoilers. DC, the one and only DC's in the chat. Marsha said, "Yeah, that is how I felt. Wanted to finish listening to it, but I felt drawn into." Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is definitely creepy as hell. Samuel says horror movies don't scare me. I actually think they're funny, but they don't scare me. They're like watching comedies. Oh, okay. All right, damn, Samuel. Samuel came in here with alpha energy. I like that. I like that, Samuel. DC actually does make sense. It's funny too, because they got a name. Well, you know about Charlemagne the God. Like he doesn't watch horror movies, and I think he actually said the same thing. Sam actually didn't like that scene. I didn't really know her or her character or anything like that, but my sisters, Albert, put my response above that music was like, all right, so 76% people actually did like, actually think that, you funny, they say, yeah, 76% people actually said that Esme got her memories back. Yeah, they, I felt like you know what I was talking about. You know what it is, DC? I grew up watching horror movies. So for me, horror movies don't really bother me, except for like Exorcist movies. Those are the only movies that will actually put fear in me. Cherie says, I love the Lord. He says movies won't. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I grew up with horror movies, so most of the stuff is like whatever, except for those stuff, except for that stuff. Laura B says, lastly, trying to tell a in-person kid like Douglas to stop calling Hope mom when she. Yeah, that's very true, Darby. DC said, I watch The Breakfast Club regularly. Charlemagne has the best type of humor. Yeah, he does. Um, yeah, he does. He does. Shauna says the poltergeist is good. Yeah, I think I only saw the first one though. Mel says, I love Albert. I can tell you where horror movies are coming out soon. Yes. Mel, I love my horror movies. You know, I love my horror movies. Actually, tell you the truth, Mel, you're the one that suggested that other movie to me, The Cabin something. Oh, wow. Sure, you were five. Jesus. Blackman says Night of the Creeps and Langolier. Was it Logori? Is it Langoliers? Night of the Creeps and I don't know what that is. Is that Langoliers? No, I don't remember those movies though. DC says, but it's weird that I'm supposed to be entertained by something that was created to scare me. 2014. Wow. Wow, DC. I feel like I need to sit down and watch some horror movies just to kind of keep up, just to kind of balance out the scales or something. Now, Ariana says horror movies don't scare me. I've seen enough in real life. Yeah, that kind of, unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear that. DC says you sound like you were going to say something about Charlemagne when I was. Yeah, DC. Well, here's the thing about Charlemagne and DC. Charlemagne can sit there and say some stuff that just goes over the top. Um, and then there's just, you know what, DC. I'll talk to you about that off. I'll talk to you about that off camera. I'll talk to you about that off camera. Because trust me, the last thing that I need to sit there and be doing is talking about controversial stuff on here. Yeah, that's one word for it, DC. That is one word for it. But the fact that I gotta sit there and talk to you about that stuff off camera should tell you something. Darby says Stephen King had a new movie every on television. The movie, Darby. When I was little, the Langoliers used to scare me. Even though that movie was like 4 hours. Oh wow! I never actually seen it before. Ariana. Siri says my dad will pop out and scare us, and he put things in the closet to pop out and scare me and my siblings. Eventually, we became unbothered. Well, that's an odd that's an odd choice of tough love, but okay. DC says, but truth be told, the Breakfast Club wouldn't be as great if it would. No, that's very true, DC. That is very, very 100% true. Um, I love his Donkey of the Day. Like I would honestly sit there and just listen to his Donkey of the Day all day. Mel said, Abed asked me any horror movie I've seen, and I can tell you. Wow. Okay, Mel, I gotta think about that one for a minute. Vendetta Worship. Oh, Vendetta Worship. What's good? Hi, chat friend from Denver. How you doing, Vendetta? I mean, oh, that's not how actually I say that name. Vita, Veda. Is it Vita or Veta? I said Vendetta. Jesus Christ. Veta. So you hitting the like button really does help. Marsha says Walking Dead didn't like that show. You know, Marsha, I heard that it's like my friend said it's very slow pace. At least the first season is like it's very slow pace. Slow pace. Veta. I said Vendetta. Long E. Vita. Vita worship. Vita. She says, by the way, Days has been on point this week. Good sees both getting Vendetta can get just yeah. I actually Veda. Oh, Veda camera. Okay, Veda. Veda. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tamara. Thank you. Yeah, Ariana, we actually got like 35 people in the chat. I love it. We got 27 likes. So hit the like button if you are or if you are enjoying the stream. If you are enjoying the stream, Veda. Veda, I am very bad with names. If since you're new in the chat. Samuel says the Breakfast Club is the worst thing for the culture. I lost brain cells listening to that crap. Thank you, Becky D. Yes, I was just about to sit there and say hit the like button. It really does help. Veda. Veda worship from Denver. Always love seeing new people. Love seeing new people in the chat. So thank you for joining us. Breakfast Club. I'm still sitting there thinking about what Samuel said. He lost brain cells watching it. I mean, listening to it. Yeah, no. He's probably working or something like that. But hopefully he'll sit there and join us next week. Sheree said, I think there was like 40 in chat before. Yeah, it's the thing, Sheree. That's really interesting. When I first started off, I think I had like 12 people in the chat. 12 people in the chat, like maybe nine, and then like 12. So it's really nice to sit there and see so many people in the chat. Gemini says the Breakfast Club has their own culture following and is for young people. Sometimes they have good interviews. Yeah, that's true. I did like some of their interviews. Of course, Veda, of course. It's like I said, we have a lot of fun in this chat. So and for the most part, we usually do get along. For the most part. But I like to sit there and think that we're all civil enough to kind of agree to disagree on things. So, have a good night, Freddie. Thank you for joining. Jesus, it actually is kind of late. But I want to stay on a little bit. I want to stay on a little longer because actually, tell you the truth, I only plan on staying for an hour. But of course, when I'm hanging out with my friends, it goes a lot longer than that. So, um, but I think I should probably because I also want to sit there and stay a little extra late because DC and some other people joined tonight. So I want to try to stay a lot later though. But I think I'm gonna sit there in the stream here just because I do got to wake up early in the morning. Oh my God. I want to thank everyone so much for joining tonight. This is literally the best part of my day. Oh, Jason, see? Good night, Will Horton. Hopefully I'll see you on the weekend, DC. Yeah, Jason. Going until 10 tonight. I wish I could. But I do gotta wake up early tomorrow. And also text me later. We'll start together. Okay. Sounds good, Jason. Thank you, Tammy. Yes, yes. I look forward to seeing you as well. Thank you for coming back. Have a good night, Samuel. It was great seeing you in the chat. Also, I gotta sit there and switch out this battery, so I couldn't do 10 o'clock if I wanted to on this one. But it was good seeing you, Gemini, though. Those had to be paid, yeah. Have a good night, Valerie. Thank you for joining. Well, Gemini, hopefully when I put in this new battery, I can sit there and go a lot longer. So, Darby, so you guys make my day. Darby, you make my day. You make my day. And thank you again for the gift and the membership and for renewing your membership. Oh my God, I cannot be more happy. Have a good night, Sheree. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Ariana. Ariana, thank you for joining. I'm glad to see you in the chat as well, Jason. I'm sorry, you know, um, I'm sorry as soon as you came in, like I was about to sit there and head out. Yes, thank you, Darby. Yes, hit the like button. It really does help. Thank you, Becky D. Yes. Have a good night, Ariana. Stay safe in your travels. Thank you, Jason. You are as well. We will be talking soon. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone here makes my day. So, like, thank you for the gift. Thank you. Have a good night, Shakira. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, DC. And you know who you are. But I'll probably be sitting there all night, sitting there saying, "Have a good night to everyone." Have a good night, Monique. Have a good night, Solomon. Thank you for joining. And have a good night to the new people. Veda, Cameron, I know you knew. Gemini, Cherie, Cherie and Cherie J, and Becky D. Because we got two Cheries in here now, so that's awesome. W says, "Good. Last day friends should have friendly fights." Yeah. Jason, we love you and you're welcome. Well, I love every single one of y'all. I really do. So thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Jason, again. Thank you. We'll definitely be sitting there chopping it out. We have a lot of fun. So stay safe, everyone, and thank you again. Here we got Cherie R, and we got Cherie J now.